Latte days, that beautiful hypnotic merry-go-round. Written March 16th, 2021 by Pam Buchholz. My mornings used to be a bit of a blur. I was on autopilot, hitting that snooze button way too many times after yet another sleepless night before dragging myself out of bed, throwing on some clothes and heading up to the barn to feed the horses, turn them out into their pasture. Horses' kisses first thing in the morning are absolutely wonderful and the best part of my day at that time. Then it was back to the house to shower, straighten my naturally crazy wavy hair and dress smartly, the proverbial little black dress. And sneakers though. I carried heels in my bag for quickie changes when needed for more appropriate office attire. And finally, an attempt to rouse my sleeping teenager. Always fun, not. Grab a coffee, my laptop, phones, and off I would go to do the battle with the school run on my way to work. I'd stress how long I was going to be stuck in the school drop-off line, what the traffic in Durham would be like. I absolutely hated to be late. I actually had no set start time, but I liked to be in there before most people started for the day. So, after I had safely deposited Lloyd at school, it was off to Starbucks. I'll digress a little here, if I may. I used to be the kind of woman that needed to know where the Starbucks was in any town I was travelling to, just so I could satisfy my craving for my venti, double shot, non-fat, no foam latte with 2 Splenda, breaking out in a cold sweat if I couldn't locate one. I was known to drive miles out of my way just to get my Starbucks fix, and I was certainly never short of reward points. Fortunately, there was a drive-through Starbucks on my route to Duke Clinical Research Institute where I worked. There was no way I was facing the day in the office without my caffeine to help me with the inevitable crisis du jour, and believe me, there was always one. I'd drink my first cup of coffee in the car, taking another into the office along with one for my friend. This made me feel better about having 2 if someone was having coffee with me. My head buzzed. I would stress most of the day, but all of the time I appeared calm, confident, collected and in control. That was just me. I would compulsively check my phone. Well, actually it was 2 phones. One for work and one for my personal calls. I could have ported one into the other, but this was my way of separating my work life from my home life. Did it work? No, I just ended up checking 2 phones all the time. It was like they were surgically attached to my hands. Always there, ever present, and always turned on. I was in complete autopilot, and had been for so many years. But hey, I had a successful career. Wasn't that what it was all about? What I didn't understand was that the more I worked, the more I wanted to work, the more I needed to work, the more I was expected to work. The more demanding people became, because you're always there, ready to take on the next pile of crap that was thrown at you, as I always wanted to be the one that fixed whatever problem it was, regardless of the cost, to me and my personal life. 3 marriages, fortunately, 3rd time's a charm. So many house moves, I've lost count, and what feels like a lifetime later, I finally get it. The more I worked, the more committed to my work I became. The higher I climbed, the more money I would make. Although academia didn't pay quite as well as my industry positions had, but for a long time I loved my role there and the incredible people that I got to work with every day, and that made it worth it. But the more money I would make, the more I seemed to spend. The more I would need, the more I would make, and so it goes. The vicious circle, like you're on some crazy, beautiful but hypnotic carnival ride that you can't get off, no matter what or how hard you try. You just don't know how to. And, to be honest, you're too damn tired all the time to even contemplate how you would break free. So, you continue until you either can't hold on tight enough anymore, fall off and break, or you make a change. Many days I chose to embrace my hectic, crazy, long days. Indeed, I positively thrived on them and was rather successful in my leadership positions. But at what cost? On the outside looking in, I had an idyllic life. senior leadership position, working at Duke, living in a lovely 4,000 square foot home on a 40-acre horse farm with my husband JB and son Lloyd, driving a flashy fast Jaguar that I actually called Mick Jaguar, and owning 4 amazing horses. Well, 3 amazing horses and 1 rather chubby little rescue pony. But were we happy? Sometimes, on the rare occasion we managed to schedule some family time, or enjoyed an evening together, sitting on the deck with a lovely meal and a glass of wine, or when I would find time to ride my beautiful horses, or just walk down to our little lake and spend time watching the ripples on the water. But these were getting fewer and further apart. We were always working so hard to maintain our perfect lifestyle and our property. 40 acres is actually quite a lot for us to take care of with no help, that often we wouldn't see each other for days due to hectic work travel and commitments. We were tired, frustrated when we did have time together, always multitasking or thinking about the other things that we should be doing, always just too tired to fully enjoy the life that we had worked so hard to build. Friends would think we lived this awesome life with great jobs, a wonderful farm, but the stark reality was we never had enough time or money to truly enjoy what we had. I suddenly became acutely aware of that beautiful, hypnotic merry-go-round that I had enjoyed so much for such a long time was going nowhere, just round and around and around in circles. And I was just getting older, and I honestly didn't want to hang on anymore, until finally one day I fell off and broke. For me, this needed to happen before I would break free. I'd been lost on this ride for so long, I had forgotten about the incredible world that was all around me and how to simply enjoy every day of my life. If only I had taken the time to know and understand me a little better back then. I could have planned how and when I needed to escape from my merry-go-round, and perhaps my fall would have been prevented. Hey, lessons learned. Were there some dark days during this time when I was broken? Absolutely. But I learned so much more about myself, what was important to me, how to become present with my surroundings, family and friends, what my true passions were, and what really made me happy. These days, things are vastly different. I wake up in the morning, rested and ready for my day. I throw on some shorts and a t-shirt, or sweats depending on the weather. Run a comb through my hair. I decided to finally embrace my unruly wavy hair, and I actually love it now. I have my first delicious mug of coffee, and no, it's not Starbucks. The closest store to me is about an hour and a half away. It's just a drip coffee, no milk, just a teaspoon of Splenda, and that's it. But it tastes so much better than my prior life's super expensive lattes. I drink my coffee in the tiny apartment of the inn. We may have 7,500 square feet in the inn, but our private apartment is probably the smallest home I've lived in since college, and I absolutely love it. With JBE and the dogs chatting about our plans for the day, then I fill up my mug with a fresh coffee, throw on my trusty old Uggs and walk 5 minutes to the beach, and then I get to step onto that sand. I feel the salty breeze on my face and catch my first glimpse of the ocean before sunrise, and it takes my breath away. Although I get on the beach at the same time and same place every day, the scene changes constantly. I walk along the water's edge, and as my foggy head clears with every wave that washes onto the shore, my day's filled with hope. So, my second coffee is sipped sitting on the beach, watching the sunrise, regardless of the weather, and writing in my journal. And sometimes, if I'm lucky enough, I'll see my dolphins. Now, this doesn't mean I don't have stress anymore. On the contrary, my life is rather stressful at the moment. I've gone from having a good salary job with regular monthly deposits into my bank account, benefits including great healthcare coverage and a retirement package, to taking a huge chance. I prefer to call it my huge adventure. JB and I have left clinical research altogether and invested our future in a 100-year-old inn on the Outer Banks. No salaries, no benefits, no retirement package. Not knowing a single soul here when we moved, risking our 401ks on a dream. An inn that needed considerable, I feel I should capitalise the letters so they jump out, considerable expensive renovations. In a place where sometimes the ocean waves crash over the only main road we have to the other side to meet the water and the sound. I worry that we won't have enough guests throughout the year to make our lives sustainable here from a financial perspective. I worry whether guests will like what we've done with the inn. If the locals like what we're doing, what damage the next storm might do to our beloved inn. What will be the next inevitable expensive repair? Will women want to even attend the retreats I intend to hold at the inn? Will I still be able to attract coaching clients? Will we be any good as innkeepers? I could list ad infinitum the potential stresses we have here, but, and it is a huge but, I choose to accept, embrace and deal with them as they're part of making our dream lives come true, knowing that with the right mindset, passion, determination, thirst for adventure, which I have a lot of, and belief in my dreams, most importantly, belief in myself, I can do anything I want to if I just put my mind, heart and soul into it. And that's exactly what I have chosen to do. Is it time you plan to break free? Until next time, please take care of yourself and take time to be happy. Love and hugs, Pam.